Sarah, good afternoon. Welcome to
Afternoon.
what I'm affectionately calling Cloud Trade TV, a blog post that I'm doing on a weekly basis. At the moment, as you know, I'm interviewing various members of the senior management team within Cloud Trade, and we're talking about different subjects that I believe will be of interest to our listeners. And as the marketing manager for Cloud Trade, I've chosen the title of the role of the CMO. Chief Marketing Officer in an organization. So I wanted to talk a little bit today with you about your role in Cloud Trade and how you help the company's name, the company's brand, the company's awareness get out into, in fact, the global market, because we're not a UK-based company, absolutely, but we sell our services to partners and to end customers where it's appropriate globally. So there's a massive job there for you to
Absolutely.
get your arms around. We've had an interesting year, I think we can all say, with the pandemic. It's caused numerous challenges for every organisation. Interestingly, from our point of view, which I suppose has helped your role, that people have suddenly realised, actually, I need to embrace the digital agenda, because the old-fashioned physical mail rooms actually are closed. People aren't receiving mail anymore. So the Cloud Trade service has been very much in vogue. And in fact, let's just tell the listeners that last month, March, which was our financial year end, we actually had our record number of transactions. So that's something to be very proud of, and congratulations to everybody in the team. But coming back to the subject and the purpose of this conversation, looking at all the various channels that are available for at your disposal to let the
hmm
world know about Cloud Trade. It's about brand aware brand awareness. It's about getting the message over to the market, in a saturated market, actually, why we're different, what our differentiators are, and why people should come and talk to us. I'll talk a
Absolutely.
little bit in a moment about the role that I look after, which is sales. How that we see ourselves, because most of the sales guys in the company, let's face it, are grey-haired like me, been around a long time. So I suppose people could call us subject matter experts. But you've got to take that message and what we do and disseminate that to the market. So really interested to get your view in terms of how you address that.
Wow, that's a big question, Steve, and thank
It
you.
is.
It is. So there's a couple of points really. So I'll just the first one. As marketing manager, as you rightly touched on, my role is quite a diverse one. There's lots of roles and responsibilities within that. Primarily, it's brand awareness, it's demand gen, and it's all those other areas like PR and working with our partners, so partner marketing, product marketing, customer marketing. It's a very diverse role, which is fantastic. It's great to embrace that. Um, our USP for our product is simple, really, for our solution. Is the fact is we have 100% data accuracy, and that is guaranteed. It's a service. We guarantee that. We manage that. And that's really unique. And that's something that the rest of the market simply can't touch on. So it's been incredibly important in the last year. We've looked at refining our message and getting that wider. So we do that a number of ways. Obviously, there's lots of digital channels, there's more traditional channels, and there's working with our partners on co-campaigns. But it's really been important to differentiate ourselves, like you say, in a saturated market, particularly for the invoicing side. Orders a little bit less saturated. That we deliver this product that not only delivers you 100% data accuracy, but we can prove it. It's simple as that, really.
Hmm.
And that's a message that people have previously struggled to understand, because there are lots of solutions out there that do promise a lot, or they promise AI or anything sort of flashy that goes, "Do you know what, I can make this perfect, and you can say all these hours, etc." But they still cannot guarantee the fact that your data will be perfect. So that's been really important this year in honing down and spreading that message that not only is a Cloud Trade a fantastic solution, we're great to work with, our customers extremely happy, our retention rate is super, super high, but actually it's a product you can rely on and you can trust that data in your system.
Do you know
Um,
what? I was just going to say, actually, you just took the words out of my mouth. You came up with a phrase recently: trusted data.
yeah, data you can trust right there
Yeah,
in your business.
yeah,
And just nobody else
so
can
important.
guarantee that. Absolutely. Can you imagine if you're in a business and you brought in these solutions to solve your problem, but you're sitting there questioning if that solution is doing its job for you, or
Mm.
actually if you need to get your team cross-checking the data? That defines that like defeats the object of bringing in a solution. It just feels that our competitors expect human input still. And surely that just can't continue, not in this day
Yeah.
and age.
No,
Not with us anyway. You can just bring CloudTrade on, it'd be absolutely fine.
you're
Um,
absolutely right.
yeah.
Let's come back to that in a moment. One of the things I think our listeners will be interested to hear from you about, if I'm running a global business services, a shared service environment, an accounts payable department, communicating what I'm doing in the market is not in the market, but internally and externally is really important. And I mentioned earlier on, there's so many channels, and I've often said to people that my view is CloudTrade is the world's best kept secret.
Absolutely.
We've been around 10 years, and actually, to your point earlier, we do what it says on the tin. So
Yeah.
I think we've earned our stripes with, nearly 1,000 sending parties, and a bit shy of that in terms of receiving organisations. So we've got the use cases, we've got the referenceability in the market. But again, there's a huge opportunity out there for CloudTrade. So just think about those channels that, as I say, our listeners would be also interested in.
Mm.
Is it focusing on your network on LinkedIn? Is it focusing on Twitter? Or, excuse me, I'm a bit of I wouldn't say a technophobe because I'm working in the technology industry, but is Instagram or all of the WhatsApp or all of the other channels, which is the right way to go to get your message out there, or is it a combination of all of those?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think it in this day and age for technology solutions, obviously it differs. It differs to your market, differs to your audience. But for this day and age, for us, it's a bit of a hybrid, really. So we've got the digital end, which is website, social media. It's probably more the LinkedIn's and the Twitters of the world rather than Instagram, or TikTok. We haven't quite got that far yet. And then there's the other angle that is perhaps a bit more traditional, like the network stuff, the event marketing, working with customers, looking at referrals. Because like you say, our customers are extremely happy with CloudTrade. We have way upwards, I think 95% retention rate at the moment. It's, awesome. Very, once they've got us on board, they don't really want to get rid of us. And that's a great referral message. So it's a combination of all those factors. And naturally, our partners are very happy with that too, because their customers are happy. So referrals, great case studies, showcasing what we can do is probably the best way. But yeah, it's a bit of a hybrid approach across the whole spectrum of marketing activities, really.
Okay, interesting. I mean, personally, I've found that, if I'm doing an outreach campaign, reaching out to my growing network on LinkedIn,
Mm,
and hopefully these podcasts are going to grow the number of people that are following me, it is, by far the easiest because, as I mentioned a few moments ago, I've been in this industry a long time, and so have most of the salespeople. And, we are, at the end of the day, selling a solution. We don't go big time in CloudTrade about trying to sell. What we're
no.
trying to do is understand what the market needs, what's our customers' requirements, and then how can we help and we deliver against that. And it's understanding the business needs that we're working with holistically. So, what we deliver an output, and that could be a file structure that's going to be read by a machine, but we really need to understand what that delivery is going to do for the business required outcomes. So am I just wanting to receive some data and post it somewhere, and then somebody comes and looks at that information, or do I need to do it completely automated, which is where CloudTrade sit? So a lot of information in that message. You can only put so much, can't you, in social media? I don't know what the concentration span is of the average person these days when they're reading something or listening, but it's not very
Yeah,
long.
no.
Yeah. So again, from your point of view, if I'm trying to communicate something I've done as the leader or the manager of an AP department, I want to tell my business how I've done. Yeah, I could use all of those channels we've just talked about, and a
Hmm.
lot of my peers will be on LinkedIn as an example. So
Certainly will.
succinct messaging. So part of your expertise is understanding how people will consume certain messages and words and phrases to give the right meaning. So I'm just interested in your insight in terms of how that information is structured to get the audience to be aware. And in marketing terms, what's that call to action that we want to deliver? Because we want somebody to read something, don't we? And then we want them to do something about it.
Absolutely. I think that what you're saying, obviously we just need to disseminate that information. And I think picking up on pain points is a really, really key thing. So if you know somebody's struggling with something, and it's causing them an issue, you want to answer that. You want to come back and say, do you know what, I've got a solution for that. So when you're communicating what you've done or what you're about to do, or finding something out, you need to get people's attention. You need to get that engagement, and often raising a pain point or providing an answer to a pain point is how best to do that. So it might be the case of I stopped manual input in my business for my accounts payable department completely. I got rid of it. And then your network, your audience, who are going to be like you with similar pain points, are going to go, hang on a minute, how did you do that? And that's where you start sharing that information. And like you say, call to actions are incredibly important. What do you want someone to do on the result of that information? Is it that they want you to just reach out to them because relationships are incredibly important, and perhaps it is someone that you know, or is it that you want them to engage with a piece of content, download it, you want them to request a demo because they're thinking, hang on a minute, I want to see that too. So it really is picking up on those key drivers that are motivating our audience and answering those questions really. And like I say, people buy off people sell to people. So you have to be personable, and you have to be there as a solution consultant really, rather than a salesperson. Perhaps the traditional used car salesman approach is never a good one. So a solution consultant who can go and answer those questions is always the best way with your content.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I say, getting that message out there in a succinct manner
Absolutely.
is an art form.
It is, and we're still refining it. Marketers are not experts in this. Well, perhaps we are the experts compared to the world, but we're always learning. We're picking up off each other.
Well,
if you ever go to a marketing event, the best networks, we always will learn off each other and share best tips because people change. The different systems change, how we react changes. So we're always learning. We're always tweaking and refining and testing. That's probably the summary of a modern marketing department is learning, testing, doing, expanding.
Absolutely. And I think the other important thing, and I know you welcome this with open arms, and that is getting feedback from our partners and our customers about how they perceive the messaging from CloudTrade. And it's all part of that refinement, because the partners at the end of the day, and we want our customers to come on the journey with us.
We certainly do. Feedback. Oh, marketers love feedback. If something works, please tell us. We'll do more of it. If it doesn't quite work, then we'll refine it and do it again. That's absolutely fine. I tend with our salespeople to have a bit of an open door policy. Give me a call anytime. We'll chat through anything. We'll test it, see how it resonates. But yeah, absolutely. Feedback is always welcome, because ultimately we just all want to be successful.
Absolutely. Sarah, just conscious of the time, thank you for your input today. I hope the listeners have found it interesting. And if they want to learn anything more about CloudTrade or about marketing, they come and talk to Sarah.
Oh, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Steve.
Excellent. Thanks for your time. Take care.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.